sorry.
I know what you're thinking about, but it isn't so. No how. Contrariwise, if it was so, it might be. But if it were so, it would be. But as it isn't, it ain't. That's logic.
I was thinking which is the best way out of this wood. It's getting dark. Would you tell me, please?
Do you like poetry?
Yes, well enough, but
What's wrong with your Peter? The walrus and the carpenter. That's longest.
if it's very long, would you tell me?
The sun was shining on the sea, shining with all his might. He did his very best to make the billows smooth and bright. And this was I because it was the middle of the night. The walrus and the carpenter were walking close at hand. They was like anything see, such quantities of sand. If this were only cleared away, they said it would be grand. Oh, oysters, come and walk with us, the walrus did beseech. A pleasant walk, a pleasant talk along the briny beach. We cannot do with more than four to give a hand to each. The elf's oyster looked at him, but never a word he said. The elf's oyster winked aside and shook his heavy head. Meaning say he did not choose to leave his oyster bed. But many young oysters hurried up, all eager for the treat. Their coats were brushed, their faces washed, their shoes were clean and neat. And this was odd because, you know, they hadn't any feet. The time has come, Laura said, talk of many things, of shoes and ships and sealing wax, of cabbages and kings, and why the sea is boiling hot, and whether pigs have wings. A loaf of bread, the Laura said, is all we chiefly need. Pepper and vinegar besides are very good indeed. Now if you're ready, oysters dear, we can begin to feed. But not on us, the oysters cried, turning a little blue. After such kindness, that would be a dismal thing to do. The night's fine, the Laura said, do you admire the view? It seems a shame, the walrus said, to play them such a trick, after he brought them out so far and made them trot so quick. The carpenter said, nothing but the butter is spread too thick. I weep for you, the walrus said, I deeply sympathize. Of sobs and tears he sorted out those of the largest size, pulling his pocket handkerchief before his streaming eyes. Oh, oyster, said the carpenter, you've had a pleasant run. Shall we be trotting home again? But answer came there none. And this was scarcely odd because they'd eaten every one.
I like the walrus best because you can see he was a little sorry for the oysters.
He ate more than the carpenter, though.
And I like the carpenter best.
But he ate as many as he could get.
Well, they were both very unpleasant characters. At any rate, I'd better be getting out of this wood. It's getting very dark. Do you think it's going to rain?
No, at least not under here it's not. No how.
But it might rain outside.
It may, if it chooses. We've no objection. Contrariwise.
Selfish things. Oh, hello. Am I addressing the White Queen?
Well, yes. If you call that addressing, it isn't my notion of the thing at all.
If your Majesty will only tell me the right way to begin, I'll do it as well as I can.
But I don't want it done at all. I've been addressing myself for the last 2 hours. Could you help me?
Really? You should have a lady's maid.
I'm sure I would take you with pleasure. 2 cents a week and jam every other day.
I don't want you to hire me. And I don't care for jam.
Even if you did want it, you couldn't have it. The rule is jam tomorrow and jam yesterday, but never jam today.
It must sometimes come to jam today.
No, it can't. It's every other day, and today is every other day, you know.
I don't understand.
That's the effect of living backwards.
Living backwards? I never heard of such a thing.
There's a great advantage in it. One's memory works both ways.
One can't possibly remember things before they've happened. What sorts of things do you remember best?
Oh, things that happen the week after the next. For instance, there's the king's messenger. He's in prison, being punished, and the trial doesn't even start till next Wednesday. And of course, the crime comes last of all.
Suppose he never commits the crime.
That would be better, wouldn't it?
I can't believe that.
Can't you? Try again.
There's no use. One can't waste time believing impossible things.
I dare say. You haven't had much practice. When I was your age, I practiced for half an hour a day. And sometimes I'd read 6
Dumpty himself. And how exactly like an egg he is.
It's very provoking to be called an egg. Very.
I only said you looked like an egg, sir. And some eggs are very pretty, you know.
Some people have no sense.
Why do you sit up there all alone?
Why? Because there's nobody with me. Don't you think I didn't know the answer to that? Ask another.
Don't you think you'd be safer down on the ground? The wall is very narrow.
What tremendously easy riddles you ask. Of course I don't think so. Why, if I ever did fall off, which there's no chance of. But if I did fall off, the king has promised me. Ah, you look shocked. You didn't think I was going to say that, did you? The king has promised me, with his very own mouth, to
send all of his horses and all of his men.
That's not fair. You've been listening at doors and behind trees and down chimneys, or else you couldn't have known it.
I haven't. It's a poem in a book.
As to poetry, you know, I can repeat as well as the next book, if it comes to that.
Oh, it mustn't come to that.
The piece I'm going to repeat was written entirely for your amusement. I sent the message to the fish. I told them this is what I wish. But the little fish's answer was, we cannot do it, sir, because...
I'm afraid I don't quite understand. Is that all?
That's all. Goodbye.
Well, fine then. Don't ask me for help when you fall off of that wall. Well, this must be the forest. It certainly is dark and cold. Hello? Is anyone there? Hello? I've been walking such a long way. Hello? Well, this is wonderful. I never thought I'd be a queen so soon. If I really am queen, would you tell me, please?
Speak when you're spoken to.
But if everybody obeyed that rule, and only spoke when they were spoken to, you see, one person would always wait till the other person begins, so that is...
Ridiculous. And what do you mean if you really are a queen? What right do you have to call yourself so?
I only said if.
She only said if.
Well, she said a good deal more than that.
I didn't mean to.
Well, you should have meant. What is the use of a child without any meaning? Even a joke should have some meaning. And a child more important than a joke, I hope. You couldn't deny that even if you tried with both hands.
I don't deny things with my hands.
Nobody said you did. She said you couldn't if you tried. Oh, my ears and whiskers. I'm late.
Late for what?
The banquet, of course.
What banquet?
To Queen Alice's health.
To Queen Alice's health! To the looking-glass world, it was Alice that said, I've a scepter in hand, I've a crown on my head. Let the looking-glass creatures, whatever they be, come dine with the Red Queen, the White Queen,